Hi there, and welcome to today's episode. We'll be investigating a word, taking a look at an interesting historical event, honoring some cultural icons, and taking the deep dive on a song. Come on with me as we take a look. Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for January 8th. January 8th is the 8th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, with 357 days remaining to the end of the year, or 358 in leap years. January 8th is International Typing Day. I've talked about International Typing Day in a couple of previous episodes, and I'll leave a link to one of those in case you'd like to see more about International Typing Day. Today's word is investigate. Investigate is a verb that means to carry out a systematic or formal inquiry to discover and examine the facts of a situation, event, or phenomenon, typically to establish the truth. Example sentences could include, police were called to investigate the mysterious disappearance, or researchers are investigating new treatments for rare genetic disorders. Investigate comes from a Latin word that meant to trace out or search closely. The term implies a careful following of evidence or traces to uncover a truth, much like tracking footprints. The word investigate was first used in English in the early 1500s. It entered the language as part of a growing interest in systematic inquiry during the Renaissance period, reflecting influences from Latin scholarship. Today's word, investigate, was part of a double request by YouTube viewer at ddally8851. Thanks, ddally. We'll look at the other word in that request in tomorrow's episode and compare the two of them there. And if you have a word you'd like us to examine in this Word of the Day segment, drop it in the comments. We'll take a look at it. And with that, on January 8, 1835, for the first and only time, the United States national debt reached zero. This was a pet project of President Andrew Jackson. He was a person who believed that carrying debt was not a good thing to do, and he worked real hard to reduce the United States debt and actually did get it down to zero. Unfortunately, like so many people to this day, it seems the country didn't quite know how to operate without being in debt. And a bunch of problems followed: a bank run, the Panic of 1837, a subsequent depression that tanked the U.S. economy and forced the U.S. federal government to begin borrowing again. And of course, the U.S. has been indebted ever since. The debt skyrocketed during the War between the states, commonly referred to as the Civil War, even though there's nothing civil about it. And it was nearly paid off by the 20th century, only to balloon again with the onset of World War I. Numerous presidents, politicians, and citizens have decried the national debt. Citizens have demanded and politicians have promised to do away with the national debt, with conservatives and libertarians frequently echoing Jackson's sentiments. The U.S. national debt is over $36 trillion now. I figure most of us can't even imagine or relate to such a number. I know I sure can't. Unfortunately, it is unlikely that the events of 1835 will be repeated in the foreseeable future, if ever. Elvis Presley. Born on January 8, 1935 in Tupelo, Mississippi, remains one of the most influential cultural icons of the 20th century. Known as the King of Rock and Roll, his groundbreaking blend of rhythm and blues, gospel, and country music transformed the musical landscape. Elvis's unparalleled charisma and dynamic stage presence captivated audiences worldwide with hits like Heartbreak Hotel, Hound Dog, and Jailhouse Rock, defining a generation. Presley's impact extended beyond music. He was a trailblazer who broke racial barriers in the entertainment industry by popularizing songs rooted in African American traditions His acting career added another dimension to his legacy with over 30 feature films, including Blue Hawaii and Viva Las Vegas, showcasing his versatility. Though his life was marked by unparalleled success, it was also shadowed by personal struggles and health challenges. Elvis passed away on August 16, 1977, at his Memphis home, Graceland, leaving an indelible mark on popular culture. Today, his legacy thrives, with Graceland serving as a pilgrimage site for millions of fans who celebrate his enduring influence on music, fashion, and American culture. Elvis Presley. David Bowie. Born David Robert Jones on January 8, 1947 in London, England, he was a pioneering singer, songwriter, and actor whose career spanned over 5 decades. Renowned for his innovative musical style and constant reinvention, Bowie became a central figure in the music industry. He first gained major recognition with the 1969 single Space Oddity, which reached the top 5 in the UK charts. In the early 1970s, he introduced his flamboyant alter ego, Ziggy Stardust, blending rock music with theatrical performance, which significantly influenced the glam rock movement. You wondered where that came from. Throughout his career, Bowie explored various musical genres, including art rock, soul, and electronic music, continually pushing the boundaries of popular music. Beyond his musical achievements, David Bowie was also an accomplished actor with notable roles in films such as The Man Who Fell to Earth in 1976 and Labyrinth in 1986. His impact on popular culture was profound, with his work influencing numerous artists and leaving an indelible mark on the music industry. Bowie's final album, Black Star, was released on January 8, 2016, coinciding with his 69th birthday. He passed away 2 days later on January 10, 2016, after an 18-month battle with liver cancer, leaving behind a legacy of artistic innovation and cultural influence. David Bowie. Oh my, what a pickle, choosing one song when we've talked about 2 great singer-songwriters today. We have talked about songs from both of these guys before, and I don't think we need to duplicate that effort today. So we'll just grab one out of the hat and talk about Underground by David Bowie. Sometimes called by one of its prominent lines, "It's only forever and not long at all," this is one of the 5 songs David Bowie wrote and recorded for the soundtrack of the 1986 film Labyrinth, in which he also stars as the Goblin King Jareth. And what a great song! It blends pop and gospel elements, reflecting the film's emotional narrative. He'd said that he chose gospel music because it's very emotional, aligning with the film's exploration of a girl's self-discovery and family relationships. And David Bowie knew all the right people to make this happen, like blues guitarist Albert Collins and backing vocalists like Shaka Khan, Luther Vandross, and the radio choir of the New Hope Baptist Church. Underground did reasonably well on release, and of course Labyrinth fans love it. Great way to showcase Bowie's ability to fuse diverse musical styles to complement the fantastical elements of Labyrinth, leaving a lasting impression on both his discography and the film's legacy. Underground, also known as It's Only Forever, Not Long at All, by David Bowie. Link in the description. And there you have it. Just a glimpse into the remarkable events, individuals, and milestones that make January 8th so memorable. From the United States' brief moment of zero national debt to the enduring legacies of Elvis Presley and David Bowie, today's stories remind us of the impact of innovation, artistry, and determination. Until next time, take care, be kind, and keep discovering the wonders of history. I'll see you tomorrow. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That playlist lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page. It's called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.